G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel, Bonsai Works. I'm David. Today I'm at the Victorian Native Bonsai Club show in Preston, Melbourne, Victoria. It's a lovely autumn day. Be cool, but the sun's out. Now, I'm sorry about the last lot of videos that I posted on my channel. The video quality hasn't been as good as I'd like. So I've changed video editing providers and hopefully this one will be a bit better. Let's have a look at the show. As I walked into the display, came up and saw these three trees right in front of me, starting off with a rose she oak. Now we've got a catalogue here that I can keep referring to and understand what's going on with each of the trees. So it's a nice little record of what's on display. And this one's a rose she oak, quite nice. Twin trunk, very pretty. Nice bark as well. The next tree was a myrtle myrtle beech. Nice tree, small foliage, nice and compact, very natural. This big tree was a banksia, very small leaf banksia. And I did like the movement. Very hard to achieve that in banksia when they get the massive heavy trunks. So that bend must have done very early in its lifespan. Banksia. Let's go around the corner. The lighting on one side is pretty harsh, so we'll see how we go with all these. But this is a little bottle brush. This is just a collection of minis, mostly little figs. Then a tea tree. So tea trees are very popular in this show. Saw quite a lot. This has a nice little base and nice foliage. The foliage is nice and compact, so very good to enjoy and use. We'll move to that other section a bit later, but this little guy is another tea tree here, very young and small. This is a very interesting type of wattle, actually, very weeping style, quite hanging from quite high up, hanging down. This is another tea tree, much bigger, but moving in the same direction. This is a little ficus. I think it's Port Jackson on the rock. Then we come up to a really interesting ficus, Port Jackson as well. This is very unusual. It looks very collected as such, very natural style kind of thing. Very interesting main tree and then like a bent over smaller tree. Very different, just pretty much a collected tree, I'd say. This tree is a honey myrtle. Tall, skinny, elegant. Then another Port Jackson. These are very popular. And it's quite nice and lush and healthy. You can see it's probably multi-fused trunks. You can see how the trunks look a little bit different, so it could be multi-fused. Next we're on a honey myrtle, very nice little tree in a very crescent kind of pot, which is quite nice. Very small leaf, very tiny, so very good for minis, these honey myrtles. Now move on to another coastal tea tree. Very cute little tree. This is a surprise. This was a varnished gum, very interesting tree. Gum tree that is small foliage but really nice, gnarly deadwood. Very fancy. I really liked it. It's kind of very different, very like fallen over tree that's hanging on to life. Looks quite stunning. There's another eucalyptus on display. Now we have a very well defined coastal tea tree. Very interesting tree. Looks like it's been repotted recently or something. The roots are still hanging out and above, but very nice foliage. Very nice pad development on the coastal tea tree. Now I really like this callistemon. Callistemons are one of my favorites for natives. They can mainly because of their trunks. They've got outstanding trunks. It's really quite good. And you can see this trunk is really nice, good nabari, very nice movement, very nice main trunks, and kind of nice open display. Now I have a coastal tea tree. Now the sun's coming in that direction, so it's going to be hard to get the detail without coming in close. So it's a coastal tea tree. Now I've got a mountain plum pine, it's called. Mountain plum pine, a bit hard to see it with the sun, but the best I can. This one is a eucalyptus of some sort. Very tiny, tiny little leaves on this one. Now I've got a red iron bark. This is a fig, small one. This is a golden wattle. Now we have a callistemon. As you know, callistemon is one of my favorites because the trunks are really cool and really thick. Even though this is a collected one, it actually looks really nice, and it's going to be a good tree in the future. And the pads and the foliage is looking nice and tight and compact, which is really good. So it's a callistemon there. Next is a tea tree copper glow. This one, tea tree copper glow. I think there's lots of varieties of tea tree. This is just another one of those tea trees, which is awesome. They've got nice small foliage and can age quite well. So it's another tea tree copper glow. Let's go around the corner and see a peppermint willow. This one. Cool tree. Now we move on to a red river gum. Red river gums would have to be one of my favorite gums just because the real red river gums in nature are incredible. This tree actually won the award from the Eucalyptus Society, who come and vote every year, and this eucalypt won best eucalyptine show. So there you go, best eucalyptine show on display here. Well done to the owner of that tree. Now we move on to a swamp paperbark. Very nice tree. I think the trunk looks really nice. It's got some interesting features on this trunk and quite a nice tree. Then we've got a little kunzia. So the kunzias usually are very popular in the native show. This year the tea tree seemed to be more popular, but another tea tree there. And here we go. Here's another tea tree that's styled in the correct way. So in the sense that this is how they naturally grow. Mainly windswept along the coast, along the ocean, in the sand or dunes. It's all windswept in that direction, which looks pretty cool. Then we have a tea tree pink cascade. So a couple of tea trees close together. Another little nice tree. So lovely lovely coastal tea trees. Now we move on to one of my favorite trees is the kunzia. And this is a stunning kunzia by one of the best in Australia. This kunzia has a really well defined pads, gorgeous tree, really beautiful pad work, lots of years of development in those branches. You can see all the effort's gone in, and the twin trunk, natural looking twin trunk into a beautiful kunzia. Gorgeous tree. Now we have a melaleuca. So probably not many melaleucas this show, but this is a nice little melaleuca. I was expecting to see a lot more melaleuca in the show, but it's a nice little tree. This little ruby, should say, Port Jackson fig was a real standout of the show, and I think it would have captured a lot of people's attention. The way it's been displayed, very cool little tree. I was really happy with this display and of this little ruby Port Jackson fig, gorgeous. And this snow gum, Tasmanian snow gum, also another beautiful tree, with two trees in this case. Very tiny little foliage on this Tasmanian snow gum, gorgeous trees. Then obviously a red river gum. Red river gums are really stunning trees, and this is a nice tree. Nice natural movement and style, and the way red river gums could grow, and I liked it. I thought it was quite nice. This is a she oak on display. This is a flowering gum on display. Last year, I'm pretty sure I saw this. Probably had more foliage, denser foliage, so being thinned out, which looks good, and a nice planting angle on this tree. Next up is a curtain fig. So multi-trunk fig, very popular for pigs in any circumstances. So this is a multi-trunk. This is another eucalyptus, a very small one, very well displayed right up high. We've got a prickly paper bark here, Melaleuca, a tick bush, interesting tree. Then we got a beautiful Banksia serrata, old man Banksia, as they call it, with this awesome, gnarly, knobby, gorgeous trunk. Look at those nubs and gnarliness on this awesome base of this tree. Now this tree took my breath away. I really liked it. I thought it was a gorgeous combination of the pot, which looks amazing. Then you've got the dead trunks and dead wood from the dead wood of the tree on the left side. The pot has some sort of glazing coming down, dripping down, looks awesome. You could imagine that could be anything, a mountaintop, mountain range or something. Then the deadwood features the rocks underneath and the live tree in the back there, the live part of the tree in the back with beautiful manicured tree. So it's a good combination of contemporary versus natural style, and a beautiful coastal tea tree, which really, really looks awesome. I thought it was gorgeous. Well done. Beautifully set up. Beautiful display. This is a Murray River cypress pine. Another native. We've got another Red River gum, which are very much one of my favorites. A willow peppermint gum, this one. Then we have a woolly tea tree, which I love woolly tea tree because the foliage is tiny. It's so small, it's so tiny. Love a woolly tea tree. Then we've got a callistemon, got a good base, but there's lots more foliage on this tree. There's got a bit of carving done, so it looks quite interesting. Then something called a cider gum, I believe it was. A cider gum. So there you go, a cider gum. Interesting tree. It's tiny foliage, tiny leaves, for a gum tree. Very interesting, very nice. Then we have a water gum. Now this tree's featured a few times. I've seen this in the past, but it's really nice to see it again. A water gum with a rock on the side, over the rock. So growing over the rock, really cool. Unfortunately, I moved over to this side. This is a white peppermint. The sun was really problematic at this angle, but this is a white peppermint. Then we have another little Kunzia. Kunzia displays. Kunzias are very popular in the native scene. I've got a very tall gum tree. Then we've got another tea tree in a crescent pot. Seems to be very popular, having these crescent pots for tea trees. Looks quite nice. And movement, etc. in the way. Now this was unusual. This was a Queensland lace bark. Very unusual. The leaf looks like a trident almost. So it's interesting to see that. And very different tree. This is a Northophagus myrtle, beach myrtle, Northophagus. Tiny leaves. Looks really good for bonsai and quite nice. Now this one really got my attention. It's a dwarf pine, they call it, but it's a dicelmus, which almost looks like a shimpaku. And you know how much I love shimpaku. Have a look at this foliage. It looks amazing. It looks so close to shimpaku foliage, but it's an Australian native. So looking really good. A dicelmus, haven't seen that before. Banksia serrata, another old man Banksia. Twin trunk, probably not as old and gnarly as the other one. And knobby. And looks quite interesting and good. Now we have a common name is black box. So that's that one. And I just want to get the proper view of this. I'll have to block the sun out. This is a Woolamai pine. It's Woolamai pine. So a newly discovered pine not long ago in the Australian bush has been cultivated and now is starting to be used as bonsai. Woolamai pine. I always get mixed up pronouncing that. Woolamai pine. So there you go. So there's the trees on display. Now I'll go for a tour in the sales area before I pick out the best trees in display. Now the display area had some plastic pots you can buy, lots of little trees on for sale, lots of natives. It's all about natives at the show here, and they're very reasonably priced. So it's from $15, $10, $15 up to $90, I think, for that fig. I don't think it lasted much longer. There's a $300 fig there as well, but very cheap compared to the last show I was at with the Vietnamese club. Much more, a lot of stock here, but I came on a Saturday morning, and this show opened on a Friday night, and one of the members told me that 50% of the stock's gone by now, by Saturday morning. So it must have been a very, very strong, obviously, Friday night sales. If you can get there on Friday night, 5:30, I think it started. And very cool, nice little starter material, $15, pretty much majority of that was. So nice little material all around. I didn't stop too quickly because otherwise there'd be lots there to see and lots there to look at and lots there to pick through. But although I like to look at natives on display, I don't really am going to owning too many. Here's some pots, different types of pots. Nice little crescent pot for $30. That's quite nice. This is a nice bunch of Australian-made pots, I believe. Nice different sizes and shapes and so on. A couple of Japanese or Chinese pots standard, but I believe these are Ian White's pots that he's made. Valgarth makes some really cool stuff still. Look at these little mushroom statues, which I love. Very cool if you're into figurines and so on. So these are brilliant. Well done to Val for doing those. They look really good. I think that's even an aardvark or something. There's some Val's pots on display. Lots to choose from. Lots to see. Keep going around. And there's even more pots. I think these are Peter Bakos. Peter's becoming a more established potter as well, and getting some good pots done. And they look quite nice. So really interesting, different choices to make, different sizes, and different shapes and so on. So been really, really cool. I really like his work. So especially if you've got natives, these pots really suit the natives. That's $55. That's quite nice. Look at the crackle on it. Looks quite good. Look at the beautiful bark, but look at the beautiful crevices and crackling on that. Looks quite nice. All beautiful trees. So I just found out these gorgeous free-form pots are actually made by Marcella, who is a pretty much very well-known Australian native expert here in Melbourne, and I think she's the secretary of this club. And that's her new business, Native Inspiration Bonsai, pots, trees, learn. So she's gone pretty much full-time bonsai, especially if you like to do natives. Very good, very, very good native knowledge for a seller. And these pots are very cool and interesting, especially if you've got natives. Or even non-natives, you can actually get nice trees into these pots. Work in these trees, so that little one's only $30. It's pretty cool. It's very reasonably priced. Some pots are more. It's very, very reasonably priced. So if you want to do natives, you want to learn about natives, Marcella's doing her own little business now. Native Inspiration Bonsai. Lots of trees to learn. There you go. Marcella, starting her own business now and getting more into her pots. These are stunning pots by Stonewood. Rodvert is a genius now at making these gorgeous pots, really top quality, and can be used anywhere, any type. It doesn't have to be natives. Look at that stunning pot, handmade, beautiful tree, beautiful pots. Rod, gorgeous collection of pots, all different range, different sizes, even some big pots up there too. Very nice. So a massive pot collection for sale. Now, my trees that I'm interested in and honourable mentions, this Red River Gum really got my attention. I really liked it, so big thumbs up for this tree. Of course, this Kunzia is just gorgeous. I really liked it. Good looking tree, beautiful pads, and really well done by the owner. So an honourable mention for this gorgeous tree. I was a big fan of it. I think lots of people would have enjoyed that tree as well. Also really love this little ruby Port Jackson fig. Stunning, very different, very interesting. I think I'll get a lot of votes for people's choice. It's a very cool little tree, that one. Now I really love this callistemon, as I mentioned. The base, I think it just needs a lot of foliage to compact the tree a little bit, maybe bring it down a bit, but that base is awesome. I love seeing it. And it looks really good. It's a lovely callistemon there on display. The tea tree was pretty cool too. So right beside it, so two nice trees on display, getting honourable mentions. That was quite nice. Now, this is unusual. It's Dicelmus. I really was shocked by this tree because it looks so much like Shimpaku that, wow, a Dicelmus Australian native. There you go. Just something different and caught my attention. So it was quite nice. Foliage is really cool. Nice multi-trunks. But it's all about the foliage for me and it looks so much like it. Did like this Shiok as well. Twin trunk, looks really nice. It was on display as I walked into it, but best in show by quite a long way for me is this display of a coastal tea tree. It's a really great combination of contemporary and native, and it's just great. And the really well styled and defined pads I really like in Japanese kind of trees, even though it's a native. But that pot with that dead wood, with the stand, with everything combined, was just a great landscape of design. Like that, you can be in the Australian outback in the mountains regions, and that tree is just hanging on. So you see, even like looks like pebbles at the bottom of that pot, and the stand, it's like a stand to hold that pot even better, like a wire stand to just hide it. But that dead wood and that tree, it just all about looks so good. It's like a tree in the Australian outbush in somewhere on a mountain range or the side of a mountain. So really nice. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the Victorian Native Bonsai Show that was held this year in 2025, and looking forward to sharing more videos with you in the future. And see you for now. Bye for now.